Alright, so I had this brilliant idea that I was going to come out and film my answer portion of my question and answer video outside. Because it's pretty out here, but it is freezing. And I figured it might help me move this along a little bit faster. So I've already spent like 25 minutes hiking down here and getting the camera set up so it doesn't fall apart. And we're going to see how this goes. So here we go. I'm going to kind of work through all of these. Mike Gardner asked a really long question here, and I didn't go through it, but it's pretty involved. Now, I haven't read any of these questions before now, except when I initially posted the video to respond and say thank you for asking a question. But here we go. First question on here is from Danny4842. And Danny says, what console generation / systems is the cutoff for you to consider it retro? And I think I've answered this a few times, but I don't think I've done it very recently. The Sega Dreamcast is my cutoff for retro, because anything before 2000 I consider to be retro. And even though the Sega Dreamcast is just the previous generation, along with the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, I consider it retro because it's before 2000. He also asks, 15 years down the line, would you consider buying the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and or Nintendo Wii retro, and would I collect for them? Would I consider them retro 15 years from now? Probably. I mean, it really depends on how the console gaming future ends up, but yeah, I'd probably call them retro. And as far as owning a Nintendo Wii, I bought one for my son and I play it with him occasionally, so I don't have anything major against most of the new consoles. I just prefer computer gaming for modern games. The only problem with collecting them 15 years from now is they're not going to work. So, I don't know. Take that for what you want. Tribes of CA says, how many games do you own? I don't know. I haven't actually counted them up. Fortunately for me, a friend of mine asked this question yesterday when we were at the re-release of The Phantom Menace in 3D. Don't waste your time. The 3D is underwhelming. I believe I told him, I did a quick figure in my head, if you include cartridge and CD-based games, and you include retro computer games and PC games, at least 1,500, probably closer to 2,000. I don't know. I don't really collect the games necessarily. I collect the consoles, the hardware, and I just sort of accumulate games for them. So somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000. I haven't actually done an exact count. I think I told him probably 1,700, something like that. This is from Stavenborn, and he says, be honest with us, Ed. You just buy this stuff on eBay and make up these tales of thrift stores and video game genies to enthrall and entertain us, right? Yeah, that's exactly it. I own a thrift store, and I'm trying to drum up business by getting a bunch of video game nerds excited about shopping at thrift stores. You got it. What else does he say on here? My question to you, which is a thinly veiled attempt at another subscriber, is... Oh, I'm not supposed to subscribe to you now, though. Sorry, I didn't read the part where you said don't read it. Let's see here. Next, Gabba Gabbo. He has two quick questions. You've said you have a job that allows you to travel around, and he says so does his job. He works for a duct cleaning company, and he's wondering what I do for a living. I am a merchandiser for a large company that services a whole bunch of different retail stores. Yeah, not very exciting, I know, but it pays the bills, and it lets me collect video games, so not so bad. Let's see here. Question number 2. What is your favorite system to collect for? Actually, I answered this in a video last week, my Top 3 Tuesday video, and it is sort of a cross between two for the same reasons. It's the Sega Genesis and the Sega Master System. I had both of them as a kid, and I love the clamshell cases. They look fantastic on a shelf. And then there is the nostalgia factor. You know, the Master System was the first system that I owned by myself. Sega Genesis was the second. So those are the two. They always sort of are one in my mind. Let's see here. Next is from Relewis 2011. and he wants to know what I like most about Ohio. He says there's not a lot, so your opinions, or I'm sorry, your options are limited. Yes, my options are limited. You know what? No, there's actually a lot to like about Ohio. My initial reaction is to say all my stuff is here, and I don't want to move away from it. But you know what? Not only do I have my stuff here, not only do I have family and friends here, I like the change of seasons. I love having a cold winter with snow. I love having, 100-degree days during the summer with 95% humidity. Okay, I don't like those as much, but I like the change of seasons. And in Ohio, you get 4 very distinct seasons. All the seasons are about the same length, and you get to experience all of them in their full glory. So that is the main reason I like living in Ohio, the change of seasons. And all my stuff is here. Number 2, out of your massive NES collection, sorry, I'm starting to, my teeth are starting to chatter now, so it's getting harder to talk. Out of your massive NES collection, which game could you never part with? In other words, if you could only keep one to play for the rest of your life, which would it be? Well, first of all, it's not massive. There are people that have much larger collections than me, but there are still fish in this water? God, it must be nice to be a fish. Yeah, the one that I could never... If I had to pick one, probably Final Fantasy. I loved Final... Something is scrabbling around on the rocks behind me. I love Final Fantasy. It is probably my favorite game for the Nintendo. Yeah, that'd be it. I would keep... Sorry, I'm distracted. That would be it. Final Fantasy. See, my idea about doing this outside because it would be too cold to do it for very long is not working very well. I keep getting distracted. This is from NextDrummer87. Let's see, what is this question here? Have I ever been told I kind of resemble Doug Hefferman from King of Queens? No. No, I have not. Most of this is fluff from the shirt. I am not that fat. Yes, I have gained 20 pounds in the last 6 months, but I hurt my back at work, man. Cut me some slack. Last year I lost like 45 pounds, and then I hurt my back, and winter holidays set in, and I ate a lot of food, and yeah, I'm working on it. I gained, I think, 25 of the 45 back, and I've already lost almost 10 of it, so I'm working my way back down. No, I've never watched that show. Uh-oh, we got an ice flow coming. Let's see here. Asian Sleepy says, which do I prefer more in this hobby? The thrill of hunting down video games or having the games in your collection? Yeah, that's a really good question. Like I said in the previous question, I don't really collect games. I sort of accumulate them. That's a line that I stole from my little brother. So I guess it would be hunting them down because I really don't have nostalgia for many games. And that's the reason I go out and look for them, is because it's exciting to find something rare or valuable, when you're out hunting for games. So yeah, I'd have to say honestly, it's hunting them down, not even necessarily having them in my collection. Having them in my collection is fun though. What are your thoughts on the way the gaming industry is headed? I think it sucks. I cannot speak with too much knowledge on the subject because I don't collect new systems or games for the new systems. But the idea of everything eventually being digital, I've expressed my opinion a number of times on this subject. I hate it. And as far as modern console gaming, I think modern console gaming is just watered down PC gaming. I have a computer that I built 4 years ago out of components that were not top of the line at the time, and that computer is going to be significantly more powerful than the Xbox 720 when it comes out, from everything I've read anyway. So yeah, I don't get modern console gaming. They're just watered down PCs. I would rather have those games released on the PC and play them that way. So there you go. I think it sucks. Jacob Rocks 100. If I could be any game character, who would it be? Wow, yeah, I got no idea. I really should have read these beforehand. I'm gonna go with, yeah, Mega Man, because he has all sort of weapons built in to his body somehow. So, Mega Man, we'll go with that one. I wonder if he has an... No. Well, the cold has killed my battery. That sucks. I'm gonna have to do the rest of this inside. Sorry.